would have never happened with me. I had Iran in check. You know, we hit them very hard for something that they did, and they had to hit back. They feel they have to do that, and I understand that. Do you know they called me to tell me we're going to hit a certain location, but we're not going to hit it. It's going to be outside of the perimeters.
Who called you?
Iran called me. Iran called me, called for me. And they let us know, and we had 16 missiles went off. I believe it was 16. 6 or 7 failed in the air.
When was this?
This was prior to the attack on a fort that we had where they hit back. Do you remember when they sent 18 missiles or 16 missiles? 5 failed. They let us know, don't move. We're going to have to hit you back. Psychologically, we have to do that because we hit them on something. You remember. They sent 16 or 18 missiles, and we knew they weren't going to hit inside the fort. And the media was going, and now I reveal it, the media was going wild because they say it's strange. They're very accurate missiles. How come they all missed? Nobody was killed, if you remember.
Yes,
with all of those missiles, nobody was killed. Now, they had to do it because they have people and they have to show strength. So they aimed the missiles, but they said, please don't attack us. We're not going to hit you. That was respect. We had respect.
So that is not a real attack. That's a fake attack to save face in the media. And in response to that fake attack, Iran against a U.S. base, we were told by regime media that all the soldiers had gotten traumatic brain injury from the sound of the attack. Trump was very bad. Look at what he did to these soldiers in taking out Soleimani. So there can be kinetic activity in the real world, and that kinetic activity can also be a fake attack. Okay. That's entirely possible. It's logically consistent, and it's a concept that people have to begin to understand. Okay. The fact that there is something kinetic happening does not make that thing real as described and shown to us. It doesn't even make it a real attack. Okay. It can be an attack that Trump agrees to with his Iranian opposite and says, I know you got to hit us back to save face. Go ahead and hit us. Your missiles are so accurate. They're going to hit right in that one spot. Gosh, somehow they missed. No, they didn't. They hit exactly where they meant to. It just wasn't actually the base. Okay. 16 or 18 missiles, definitely not 17. But that is a real dynamic. In fact, that's the only real dynamic. Right? Again, the war is not between the United States and Iran. It's not even between Israel and Iran. It's not between Russia and Ukraine. The only real war is between the good twin faction worldwide and the evil twin faction, the global regime worldwide. And it's happening all over the place. That's the real war. All of these other wars are fake neocon wars. All right? They are stories about war to make us give our power over to them because we believe that we are facing an existential threat. That's what they are. They are fake neocon wars. Let us continue. That first clip was from a year ago. That was during the campaign. Trump told that story many times at rallies. Let's jump to about here.
I don't trust anybody. So no trust. I want it very strong where we can go in with inspectors. We can take whatever we want. We can blow up whatever we want, but nobody getting killed. We can blow up a lab, but nobody's going to be in the lab as opposed to everybody being in the lab and blowing it up, right? 2 ways of doing it. Yeah, I told him this would be inappropriate to do right now because we're very close to a solution. Now, that could change at any moment. It could change with a phone call. But right now, I think they want to make a deal. And if we can make a deal, save a lot of lives.
So that was Trump just a few weeks ago talking about how he could discuss with Iran, make sure that these labs didn't have any people in them, and then we could go blow up a lab if we need to blow up a lab. So he has told us that that sort of thing happens. He's told us that it's happened before with Iran, and then he tells us that it might happen again, and there won't have to be any death. And the other side will agree to allow us to destroy this facility. It's a really important concept to wrap our heads around, particularly when the television is going to broadcast something designed to upset us and tell us, oh, our greatest ally, Israel, is now attacking Iran. And because you know that Muslims are bad, we're going to have to agree to go to war on behalf of Israel to destroy Iran, even though Iran is backed by China and Russia. And oh, yeah, we're going to have to do that over the nuclear weapon that they're about to get, even though you've already said it's okay for them to have nuclear energy. And your negotiations with Iran have been entirely based on that. I don't know how anybody can believe this shit, honestly. I really, really don't. Okay. I understand there's some video. Everybody on TV says it. And then Donald Trump makes statements that suggest it's real. Not trying to argue that it's all totally fake. All right. It's possible that kinetic things could be happening. Maybe it's just evil twin targets being taken out in Israel and Tehran. That is entirely possible. Okay. I'm not taking away from the possibility of that. What I'm saying is the stories about these incidents are fake. And when you understand the story is fake, you can't just believe the story pretend that the story is real, and then analyze on that basis. It's madness. Let us continue. Another little flashback. This is from the IAEA. That's the International Atomic Energy Association, I think it's called, or agency. This is the director of that agency saying nuclear facilities should never be attacked.
Development is deeply concerning. I have repeatedly stated that nuclear facilities must never be attacked, regardless of the context or circumstances, as it could harm both people and the environment. Such attacks have serious implications for nuclear safety, security, and safeguards, as well as regional and international peace and security.
Now, perhaps that was all said because we were being told a story about how Russia was attacking Zaporozhye, and we were told that Russia might cause the outbreak of a nuclear World War III because they were attacking Russian nuclear plants. And they'd already told us about that in regards to Chernobyl earlier in the very brutal invasion. What did I say at the time? Hey, that's bullshit. Hey, you know what else is bullshit? This Zaporozhye thing. How do we know these things? Well, because we know conceptually that this is bullshit. And so now we have the principle that they sold. It's very dangerous to attack a nuclear facility because that could lead to the outbreak of nuclear war. It could harm the environment. It could kill people. We've gone from that to nuclear facilities must be attacked in order to save Israel from a magical bomb. Smart, real smart. And people are like, well, you got to be serious. It's got to be done. The people out there pretending to be serious while believing whatever they see on television and being totally enthralled to this ridiculous Republican establishment, thinking that somehow they're going to win the approval of the establishment and then they'll have the money. They'll be the serious people weighing in. Give me a break, you morons. These neocons pretending to be truthers, pretending to be MAGA, pretending to be Q followers and the rest of it. It's part of that program is removing the neocons. The neocons have always been this force. They have not done anything else. It is revolution all the time, a la Trotsky, using the military everywhere. Okay? That's the agenda. You can't support that and MAGA. You can't support that and be America first. It's not possible. It is a total contradiction. And we would all be better off if we recognized these things and called them out for what they were, rather than continuing to support these platforms while they lie to us. And these influencers just groveling, attention farming online. Unbelievable.